just a little something to vent out. The reason why I hate school is for a lot of reasons. And for context, summary, my old school was really crap. I was bullied, I was harassed, how do I explain it? I was bullied, I was harassed, teachers defended the bullies, teachers did nothing, I was punished and all. Then I smoked weed, and then I changed schools in the middle of year 8. I quit weed, I quit all of these things, and I started vaping, and just a little bit before I changed school. But yeah, I quit vaping, then I went back, and on and off. And year 8 to year 9, I still was a very well-behaved student. Then when I started year 10, shit changed, because one of the previous Senkos left the school, and there's a new Senko who used to be SEN admin, and she has no experience managing school. And there was one TA she hired who does not have a DBS check. Her DBS check got delayed until April, and I don't want to say any names because I don't want to have a defamation lawsuit against me, and I don't even want to say my school's name because that's none of your fucking business. However, what I'm trying to say is that I eavesdropped on some conversations and stuff, and yeah, that's just how I know shit. And I used to have I was diagnosed with autism and ADHD, and I feel like it was false pneumotoxin by proxy. I have an EHCP plan since all my life, and I don't believe it's helped me. I don't need TAs in every lesson. I don't need speech and language therapy. I don't need any of that, and I just need mentoring and maybe access arrangements, but I don't need anything else. And they're giving me a whole plethora of government documented bullshit as if I'm a criminal, as if I'm a convicted rapist. And I feel really, 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 and I'm facts over feelings, and 17% of the UK is now retarded. Before it was 4%. And honestly, I don't believe EHCP should be in a mainstream school. For fuck's sake, it's a mainstream school, not a retarded school. And I used to like having an EHCP. I used to like being diagnosed with autism, but after I started doing research, autism is not real, ADHD is not real. It's just an agenda to vaccinate our children, abort babies with Down syndrome, and it's a really big agenda to promote Marxism and communism and all through our establishment. And you thought MAGA was a cult, which I agree with, but then a lot of these autism freaks are also in a cult because you can't criticize them. And what it really is that I don't believe I had autism. I don't believe any of that, and I believe I was abused. I was a victim of stalking by someone. And I don't want to say any names because, like I said, I just want to move on from that. I was a victim of online trafficking and grooming, and the stalking and online trafficking was very separate because they were 3 years apart, so yeah. I'm not going to mention anything else because legally I'm not allowed to either. But yeah, I was a victim. And, with the old previous Senko, even if we didn't agree on some things, I could still have a conversation with her. And my head of year's never been abusive or anything, and my head of year's a good person, so I'm gonna leave her out of this. However, the current Senko has been really abusive and rude towards me. She hates me even though I've done nothing wrong to her. And I don't like my EHCP plan. She says that I'm a disabled person. I'm severely disabled. I should not have anything without an EHCP plan. That means I should not be in a mainstream school. And besides, with EHCP plans, I don't give a fuck about the diversity, equity, inclusion nonsense because it's just like unicorns in my garden. Y'all just hate white people. With EHCP plans, you do realise I can't get a job. I can't serve in the military. I can't get my inheritance. The military just rejected my application. I'd probably get a power of attorney or something like that. And you do realise this type of stuff. And I'm against abortion, but still, I would not be able to decide whether I have a euthanasia, and everything would belong to someone in my family, most likely a male. I will have no say. I will probably not even have the right to vote because of this EHCP plan. I won't have the right to vote. I won't be allowed to get tattoos. I won't be allowed to have drugs, alcohol, any of that, even though that's what I want to do. And you do realise that the EHCP plan has actually not helped me. In fact, statistically, it's made me more worse. It's made me... because I want independence, I want my freedom. I've been like this many, many times. And honestly, I'd much rather, talk to my trafficker than go to school. And I really feel sad making this because I did not want to cry. You can tell I don't want to cry, but I am crying right now. And honestly, I'm a human being. Even if you don't fucking agree with me, I'm still a human being, just like you are. I'm still a human being, you fucking bastard. I know I should not be swearing, but still, I'm a human being. I'm a human being. And really, what it is that I used to like having an EHCP plan. I used to like, want to spread autism awareness and all that. But when I found out the truth that it was misdiagnosed as Matroxin by proxy and a lot of paedophiles use EHCP plans and stuff and groom children, I just don't like it anymore. I don't want an EHCP plan. I want it revoked. And I have factual reasons, not just conspiracy speculations or me being a hateful person. I'm a normal person. I'm not a disabled person. You have the right to say what you want because it's freedom of speech. But you have no right to affect my life because of a government document. I am being used as a human shield, and I have the right to defend myself. I had enemies in my old school, and I thought this school was going to be good, my current school, but no, it feels like my old school all over again. I have enemies on all fronts, and you wonder why, and you act like I played the victim. I'm fucking done with it. Like, just leave me alone. And if I'm such a horrible person, then don't speak to me. I've had fallouts with many people, and I don't fucking care. I will even slam my toes on the ground and say it. I'd rather even saw my toe than accept autistic nonsense, than accept mentally ill people. And I want our education to stop normalizing retards, mentally ill people, and stop normalizing liberals, and stop normalizing conservative extremism. And I'm done with it. I'm a human being, just like you are, and I deserve the same rights as you. I don't like school. I don't want to go back to school. And whenever I vent this out, I get death threats, rape threats, I get attacked. I got sent to Prevent twice. Yes, once was for an understandable reason, maybe because of some social media posts that offended other kids, and that was my head of year that did that, out of good intent. The Prevent said it was not hate crime, but to not do it in school, to not post certain stuff because you're under school grounds and you have to follow the school social media policy. So yes, I understood that, and I will not do that again. However, second time I got referred to Prevent by my Senko because I was against EACB plans and because of stuff like that. And yeah, after that, and the Prevent said that it was bollocks and it was completely against the guidelines to do that to me. And the TAs harassed me a lot. Not all of them, but vast majority of them did. And it got so bad that SLT senior staff had to be in my lessons just because of that. And I'm telling you the truth. You don't have to agree with me. I could be wrong as well. I'm not a narcissist. Maybe some of the things I'm saying might not, science has maybe debunked it. But difference is I can admit I'm in the wrong, and I'm not a horrible person. Thank you. Please spread this awareness. I love you guys. Bye.